Hi guys and girls, and welcome back to Xenus Minis. My name is Greg and this is episode 10 of Build and Paint, the hobby show that answers all of your hobby questions like how do I paint a glowing plasma effect? What can glazes be used for? Has a mutant infiltrated the Primaris Vanguard? And why is no one talking about the brand new Obliterator's flesh metal buns? Unlike the Skitarii Ranger, no one in the Black Legion skips leg day. But talking about the Ranger, we are carrying on with him today and we are painting up that Plasma Caliver. So without any further delays or any more talk about flesh metal buns, let's make a start. We're not painting the entire gun casing on today, but we will be doing a soft glow around the plasma coils. So using lead belcher, base all the metal parts of the gun and the arm. I'm using a size 1 brush here and there's no need to be too neat. We're just looking to avoid getting any paint on the plasma coils. Once you're done with one side, paint the other side in the same way. I've thinned down my paints using a medium, so it'll take around about 2 coats for full coverage. If you're not using medium, then you can use water instead. Next, paint Emperor's Children onto the coils. You'll want a smooth finish, so again, you'll be applying multiple thin coats. If you accidentally get some paint onto the casing, you can just tidy it up with a bit of lead belcher. But before we go any further, we're applying a shade of Nuln Oil. We don't want to accidentally get any of this onto the coils once they're done, which is why we're doing it now. Once you've shaded one side, then just shade the other side in the exact same way. Now we're returning to Emperor's Children to finish painting the coils. And once you finish painting the coils, fill in the vents at the front of the gun using Emperor's Children as well. A bit of a tip is to make this paint a bit thinner than normal, so it almost acts like a wash filling in the recesses. Now we're applying a wash of white scar to the coils. So to do this, just thin down white scar using around 4 parts water or medium to 1 part paint. I've probably overloaded my brush a bit too much here as it's overpowering the previous layer. Now that I'm painting the other side, I've got it just about right, and you can tell because there's more transparency in the wash than in the previous attempt. Now we're painting Fulgrim Pink onto the coils, but we're leaving a spot of white right at the bottom as we want this to be the brightest part of each coil. To make this a bit quicker, you can edge highlight here, and all you need to do is angle your brush and run it along each of the raised coils. Next, we've created a glaze using Emperor's Children, and glazes are great because it allows for more transparency. This just means we'll see some of the previous layer coming through the paint we're applying now, and this is great for building up transitions and blends between colours. Creating a glaze is really easy. All you need to do is mix around 3 to 4 parts medium to 1 part paint, and once you've created it, glaze it carefully over part of the Fulgrim Pink we've just applied. Now we're going to need to create a glaze of Fulgrim Pink using the exact same process as I've just mentioned, and then you'll need to paint it on around about the transition points between the two colours, and this will just smooth out the blend. Remember, you can keep glazing with both colours until you're happy with the overall transition. We're using pink horror now to further darken the top of the coils, and you can apply exactly the same method as we've just been through. As the paint is getting darker, your brush strokes should be smaller now, so these steps will take less time. Because we don't want to cover all of the previous layer, we need to aim more towards the top of the coils, which we want to be a darker shade of pink. Once the pink horror is on, we're glazing Emperor's Children to smooth out the transitions if needed. Now we're adding a spot of Screamer Pink right at the corner towards the top of each coil. I'm then thinning down the Screamer Pink glaze further and feathering it over the transition points between colours. The way we're painting this plasma effect is almost the reverse of your typical 40k plasma coil, but it looks more like plasma coils do in real life, where the coils are darker than the actual core. Next, add a small spot of white to the top of each coil, directly at the centre of the Screamer Pink. This is optional but can make each coil look glossy and reflective. To create a faint plasma glow, I'm painting a glaze of Emperor's Children around the edges of the gun casing that's closest to the plasma coil, and then I'm feathering it outwards. As mentioned before, the glaze is semi-transparent, which is great because you'll want some of the metal to show through. Then finally add a more solid line of pink around the edge. For the vents, we're using spots of Screamer Pink, Emperor's Children and Fulgrim Pink to create a gradient within each vent. The aim is to go from darker at one end of the vent to lighter at the other, using small spots of paint. To achieve this, you'll need to paint Screamer Pink on the left, Emperor's Children in the middle, and Fulgrim Pink on the right. Lastly, finish off each vent with a highlight of white scar. And with that, we've finished the plasma coils and also achieved a subtle plasma glow effect. Guys, that is the end of today's episode. Really hope you've enjoyed. If you have, smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you want to subscribe, why not? Because you are in with a chance of winning a brand new box of Skitarii Rangers when the series comes to an end. So today we painted those plasma coils. Next week we're carrying on with the Plasma Caliver. So I really hope you'll join me for that. But until then, take care, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.